Hello, dear friends. We were discussing the auspicious vision by Rabindranath Tagore. We have seen that Nabin Banerjee and Kanti Chandra were discussing about the marriage of Kanti Chandra with the daughter of that Brahmin, Nabin Banerjee. There was a question in the mind of Nabin Banerjee, and that question is asked to Kanti Chandra that will you not first see and speak to her? And the answer given by that Kanti Chandra was, oh, that we shall do at the moment of the auspicious vision. Till that passage we have discussed in my previous lecture. In a voice husky with emotion, the old man said, with emotions, full of emotions, because picture is very clear before that Brahmin Navin Banerjee that now and finally his daughter will get married. He said, my Sudha is indeed a good girl, well skilled in all the household arts. As you are so generously taking her on trust, may she never cause you a moment's regret. This is my blessing. She will not give a chance to regret, to become angry. And this is my blessing to you. The brick-built mansion of the Mazumdars had been borrowed for the wedding ceremony, which was fixed for next Magh. Magh is a Marathi month also. As Kanti did not wish to delay. Kanti did not wish to delay the marriage, and that's why all the arrangements were done in the Mazumdar's bungalow or mansion. Mansion is more bigger than bungalow. As Kanti did not wish to delay, in due time the bridegroom arrived on his elephant. Kanti Chandra has an elephant, and on that he came with drum, sand, music, and with the torchlight procession, and the ceremony began. You know very well that how much crowd and how much arrangements are there when the procession of that bridegroom usually occurs. So all these facilities with music and torchlight procession and elephant, now we bring the bridegroom on the horse. But at that time, and he was a wealthy person, he came on elephant and the ceremony began. When the bridal couple were covered with the scarlet screen for the rite of the auspicious vision, the scarlet screen is the bridal couple, both bridegroom and bride, both were covered with a scarlet screen for the rite of the auspicious vision. Auspicious vision is a ceremony which I have told in the introduction of this lesson. मुंह दिखाई बोलते उसको in Hindi में. The bridegroom tries to remove the parda from the face of that bride. That is the ceremony which is called auspicious vision. In that bashful, downcast face, crowned with the wedding coronet and bedecked with sandal paste, Bedecked, the face is bedecked means decorated with the sandal paste and along with the wedding coronet also on her face. He could seriously recognize the village maiden of his fancy. The actual beauty and the beauty decorated at the time of the marriage is different. You hardly recognize the original lady at that moment because of this, what we can say, makeup, makeover, and the fullness of his emotions. A mist seemed to becloud his eyes. The full of enthusiasm, full of emotions, he could not able to find out which lady is before him. At the gathering of women in a bridal chamber after the wedding ceremony was over, after the wedding ceremony, women gathered in the bridal chamber when an old village dame insisted that Kanti himself should take off his wife's bridal veil. Veil means parda. So all women tried to convince that Kanti Chandra should himself remove the bridal veil from the face of his wife. And he did so, he started back. As he did so, he quickly come back. It was not the same girl which he has seen at the bank of the river. Something rose from within his breast and pierced into the brain. Something, deep pain come from his breast and went to his brain. The light of the lamp seemed to grow dim and darkness to tarnish the face of the bride himself. As soon as the newly married wife, came to know that Kanti Chandra is shocked, the darkness, dimness and tarnish is there on the face of that wife. At first he felt angry with his father-in-law. The old scoundrel had shown him one girl and married him to another. This is the fortunate and usual kind of anger. He deeply angry with his father-in-law. And he also thought that this scoundrel shown me a one girl and married me another girl. But on chamber reflection, he remembered that the old man had not shown him any daughter at all. He remembered all these things spoken to Nabin Banerjee, and he remembered that Nabin Banerjee did not show him any girl. That it was all his own fault. This is the first shock. This was all his own fault, because he did not see the particular girl to whom he is going to marry. He thought it best not to show his errant folly to the world. He thought that he should not express his anger before the people gathered there, and took his place again with apparent calmness. He became cool and quiet and calm after coming the thought. He could swallow the powder. He could not get rid of its taste. Such kind of a powder he swallowed, and now he could not get rid of this situation. He has to swallow this powder. Powder means that wife. He has to accept this wife, that girl. He could not bear the merrymakings of the festive throng. So all this crowd and all this ceremony is going on, he could not bear. He was in the blaze of anger with himself as well as with everybody else. The blaze of anger in his mind is there. He was tremendously angry. Suddenly he felt the bride seated by his side. Give a little start and a suppressed scream. Give a little start and suppressed scream is also there. A leveret means young rabbit scampering into the room. Young rabbit is running from the room. He brushed across her feet. The rabbit is there under her feet. Close upon it followed the girl he had seen before. And by running after that rabbit, the girl came in his room. The girl is the same to whom he saw on the bank of that river. She caught up the leveret into her arms and began to caress it with an affectionate murmuring, "Oh, the mad girl!" cried the one as they made sign to her to leave the room. As soon as women collected there in a bridal room shouted on that girl that you should leave the room immediately, she heeded them not. However, but came and unconcernedly sat in front of the wedded pair. No attention was paid by that girl to all these women. She directly came before both of them, Kanti and newly bride, and sat before them. However, but came and unconcernedly sat in front of the wedded pair, looking into their faces with a childish curiosity. There was a childish curiosity on the face of that girl, and she was looking towards both of them. When a maid servant came and took her by the arm to lead her away, maid servant came there, took her arm in her hand and tried to grab that girl from there. Kanti hurriedly interposed. Kanti hurriedly restricted and said, "Let her be. She should sit there. Do not try to grab her from here." Kanti ordered that maiden. "What is your name?" Kanti asked. The girl swayed backwards and forwards but gave no reply. The girl swayed backwards, just like that, backwards and forwards, and gave no reply. All the men in the room began to titter. All the men gathered there in the room started to laugh. Kanti put another question. "Have those ducklings of yours grown up?" Those two ducklings which Kanti Chandra had seen at the bank of that river, holding by the breast of that girl, he remembered those ducklings, and that's why he asked this question, "Have those ducklings of yours grown up?" The girl stared at him as unconcernedly as before. The same feelings, the same situation is there. She did not know what Kanti Chandra is asking to her. And the same expressions are her face. No reply, just calmness on the face. The bewildered Kanti screwed up courage for another effort and asked tenderly after the wounded doe. Once again, Kanti Chandra tried to ask about the wounded doe. Earlier, he has seen on the lap of that girl, but without avail. There is no benefit of asking any question to that girl because she was not speaking a single word. The increasing laughter in the room betokened an amusing joke. The situation is drastically changed, and all the women gathered there started to laugh once again like a joke. Somebody made a joke. At last, Kanti learned that the girl was deaf and dumb. The girl was deaf, unable to hear, and dumb, unable to speak. The companion of all the animals of the locality, just like all the animals of the locality were unable to speak. The girl is unable to speak and unable to hear. This is the second shock for the Kanti Chandra. It was but by chance that the rose the other day when the name of Sudha was called. After the utterance of the name of that Sudha, the girl jumped and go inside the room or the house. It is just a coincidence, because she did not able to hear something, she did not able to speak something. Kanti now received a second shock. This is the second shock for Kanti Chandra. First shock was that Kanti Chandra misleadingly married to another girl, and this is the second shock to whom actually Kanti Chandra wants to marry. She is a deaf and dumb. A black screen lifted from before his eyes. The black screen which comes when he saw first time the face of his wife. That black screen removed now. With a sigh of intense relief, there is an intense relief in his mind because he felt that he is now relieved, as of escape from calamity. Such kind of a wife will be a calamity for his entire life, and this thought made him relieve himself. He looked once more into the face of his bride. Once again he looked towards newly married bride. Then came the true auspicious vision, and now the true auspicious vision came into existence. The newly bride was looking more beautiful than before. The light from his art and from the smokeless lamps fell on her gracious face. Light from the heart, because she is happy. He is happy now because he married such a girl who is able to speak and able to hear also, along with the beautiful also. So happiness is there, and he is relieved that he did not marry such a girl who is a deaf and dumb. And he saw it in its true radiance, knowing that Nabin's blessings would find ample fulfillment. Nabin Banerjee's blessings really came true in his life. So finally Kanti Chandra satisfied and happy. So this is the auspicious vision written by Rabindranath Tagore. There are many questions under 8 multiple choice type questions you have to concentrate on, that will be asked in the examinations. So here ends our syllabus. I wish you best luck for forthcoming online examinations. Thank you very much.